Welcome to this new segment that it's called, well, at least we're calling it right now, Film Talk. This is a segment where we're going to talk about movies that we watch and we're going to review them. I'm sitting here with Yaye.
Hi guys.
And you might know him from the behind the scenes of Corrupted Boss if you haven't seen him. I'll link that below. So yeah, what we're going to be talking about, if you haven't read the title, is Bohemian Rhapsody. As we all know, Bohemian Rhapsody is a movie that was created in memory of Freddie Mercury. So in that movie we're
Rest
going
in peace.
Rest in peace, Freddie. And in that movie, what we're seeing is the story of Queen through Freddie Mercury, like so. And
Yeah.
do you have anything to say about the
Yeah, that is basically what the movie is about. Or is it? Or is it a Freddie Mercury movie or is it a Queen movie? What are you gonna talk about?
Well, that's what we're going to discuss right
Yeah.
now. But let's jump right into the pros. For me, it was a pretty nice movie. Like, it was pretty enjoyable. If you love Queen, then you're going to love the movie. And
The songs, they're iconic.
one of the things because before the movie I hadn't seen the Live Aid concert.
Oh.
So I went and saw it afterwards, and what I saw was that they recreated the concert perfectly.
Even the Pepsi cups, bro.
Yeah, that was like a little small detail that they still recreated, and it was pretty nice. And I was watching the real Live Aid concert, and I was like, oh, here's where he dances with the camera, and that's exactly where he danced with the camera. It was pretty like.
There was a part in the Live Aid where he goes, like, that's a naughty, I don't want to do it. Like, and I was like, he did it? And then I saw the Live Aid on YouTube, obviously. And, okay. Okay, thank you.
They knew how to capture Freddie. Like Rami Malek was like really awesome. Like he knew how to capture Freddie.
He might be nominated for an Oscar. Who knows? It's a very mainstream blockbuster-ish movie, but he can. Yeah, they're not so stupid. Well, the Academy is, you know.
Yeah, and I actually thought that the acting was pretty neat.
Who's acting? Everybody?
I would say everyone, like mostly, like most of the people we see in the movie, like the guy that played Paul, he made it really so that we could hate him.
Oh my god, man! I even forgot the name of that, and now they say that we should hate him.
Oh my god, that was like the worst character. It was like, it was portrayed so that you would hate him.
It was kind of funny because the theater, every time that he goes on screen, everybody's like, oh my god.
It was the worst.
Oh.
Like, but that was like, it was a really good, like a good performance because it was actually like
what
really
his point?
Oh, he was just like trying to get off with Freddie, and Freddie never actually gave him what he wants.
But he was a manager, or
I don't actually know. Like, I don't know if he was the manager or he was working with the manager, and then he got the manager fired so that he could take his place.
Because he worked
Spoilers.
directly. By the way. Yeah.
Probably.
Some people say that there are no spoilers because it's a how do you say it?
It was a story that actually happened.
Because some people will say that, but I saw the other day First Man, which is the story of Neil Armstrong, and there was something that will ruin you the movie if I told you. It was a spoiler, so it's kind of tricky.
It's also the fact that in these kinds of movies, like, you're not gonna get the whole story the way it was. Like, there are some things that are going to be changed, obviously. Like, I saw a video that said that on the movie, Freddie Mercury finds out that he has AIDS before the Live Aid concert, but in real life he found out like a year or two or a few years after the Live Aid concert. So those are some things.
That detail specifically is not very harmful to the movie.
Exactly.
But there was other ones that we should get into it now, or we should go? We stay with the positive for now.
Let's stay a little bit on the positive
Okay.
because I also want to say that the movie was very emotional and it knew how to capture that too, and it was pretty funny also. And
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Also,
I mean-
like the best part was when the band was fighting about the song. That was the name of it was I'm in love with my heart. Not a very good song. I heard it. And I'm glad they didn't went with it. They actually made the song.
Yeah.
Like,
It was released in the album. Was it?
I don't know.
Probably was.
I
When
don't
you're
know
seeing
about
this
that.
someday,
But yeah.
not everybody's perfect. But okay.
Do you have anything good to say? Anything more?
The way it make me specifically feel in the in the big concert scenes.
Oh yeah.
And we will. And I was.
Yeah, it actually made me feel like I was in the actual concert.
Yeah.
Like I just want.
I wish I got to see the movie on IMAX because that would be. What would that? We just went to a regular theater, but it not.
It still didn't take away from the
Yeah,
experience.
it was perfect. So.
It did a great job with that. So
Rami Malek, man,
it was pretty.
I was
Oh my God.
I was kind of uncomfortable with his with Freddie Mercury, but it was uncomfortable. But I want to be uncomfortable right now because I like you so much. I want to be friends with you or whatever.
Yeah.
And I like I don't know if it's real. The relationship with his, I don't know, ex-wife. He got married or they never get married. I don't know. But
I think that they didn't actually get married.
Yeah.
They just got engaged.
yeah, they just got engaged and then I'm gay and not me, Freddie. But
He didn't want to admit it. He said that he was bisexual,
yeah.
but she knew. She knew. We
Yeah,
all
that
knew.
was-
We
that
all
was-
knew.
That was funny. That was a funny scene. Freddie, you're gay. That was hilarious.
But yeah,
And
that was pretty also very heartbreaking. Like also the scene with the like when he called her and he was in his mansion and he was all like with the lamp.
yeah.
Oh my God, that really really hit.
Yeah, because I hated Freddie for that moment because
Yeah.
I know how he felt.
But I also knew how she felt.
Yeah, and he was hurting her, man. But I like the dynamic that they share, which they still care for each other, and
Exactly.
she supported him, and she went.
I still think that she was the real MVP. She didn't have to
Yeah.
stay, but she still did for
The
him.
real MVP.
Like she was there for him, like or making sure that he didn't.
I really love her.
Yeah, she really cared. And you can really see, even though she got like married to another guy, she still was there for him in the Live Aid concert and all that.
That was pretty emotional.
Yeah.
All that scene with the raining scene that she remembered him, who he was.
Yeah.
It was, and make in the movie. I hope it's real. I really do. It is.
Yeah, most of the things we're talking about is about the movie. We don't know, like we know that there are some things that didn't happen like that in real life, like I just mentioned, but we still don't know exactly which parts they are. I know some, but I don't know every single part of them.
Yeah.
And also the part where his father and him actually reconcile. Like, yeah, that
before
was
the
pretty-
Live Aid.
Yeah, that was pretty emotional too. Like,
I
really felt that.
I wish they explored that part of it more.
Exactly. But
But
the way they did it, like at least it paid off in the end, like the relationship they had. I know that it was only like 2 or 3 scenes with his father. Like it wasn't that many because well, it was trying to focus more on Freddie and Queen. But you know, it was pretty.
He was. I'm pretty. I connect a lot with father-son themes on movies, and that was a pretty good, pair of scenes because they were like 2 or like you said.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Now we're with the pros. Let's start with the cons. I have to say that at the beginning, the movie felt a little bit weird because the way that they jump through days. Like this is something that I noticed on like the movies from nowadays. Like they try to change days and times, like through action, but that doesn't work that much. Like it makes
So you feel the movie tell you, oh, there have been 5 years, but you
like they really did have saving, but I feel like they are taking away, like usually in the movies before, like there is either like a transition through sound or like a different transition to like through the visuals, and right now they're just cutting straight through the other day, which I feel like it doesn't work. I think like you need to have this space between the action, like there are some scenes that at the beginning that I think it was transitioning from day to night, and it transitioned like Freddy was doing something and then he was doing something again, and like you didn't actually get that feel like time has passed.
Can you say an example, because I'm a little.
It was like a part where he was like in his apartment, and they said like they mentioned it like that they will have something that night, but the way they transitioned through the night, like he was walking like through a hallway or something, and he was already like in motion, he was already in action. There was no like clear definition that it was at night. But like you get it from watching movies and all that, like you already know. But it kind of takes it away like a little bit. So the editing was a little bit harsh on that side.
The first act, or you think the whole movie was choppy?
I think that mostly the first act, but like the whole movie had like a little bit of some type of editing issue with that part. But it was mostly visible on the first act, because like the second and the third act you were already distracted by the songs.
Yeah.
And you were already with that, but it was more noticeable on the first act because, well, like I said, I feel like movies this time of days are like forgetting of the wide shots. Like most of the times you get the wide shot, which sets you on a different place and a different time, like you can see it. But nowadays they're not doing that, and that's something that I feel they should actually bring back, or at least stay with or at least some movies actually transition with music. Like, you know, like the character is doing something and then like the character stops talking, there's a space, and then the music starts on the background, and then you get the action with that music. That's how you know that time changed. But nowadays, like they're trying to get that off, and it doesn't work. Like there are some things like that. So
I think that's a problem with based on real life movies, because the movie I mentioned before, First Man, their time has passed, and same thing.
And also that I also, like one of my friends said that the time in the movie like moves too fast. Like this like like the events in the movie, like they move like too fast. Like one moment you're like little Freddy starting to meet the band, and the other band you're already on Live Aid. Well, that's something that also.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but one thing that I also like, I don't know if it was like their actual intention, or if they accidentally, or if I'm just thinking, but the actual movie felt kind of like if you were reading a biography. Like when you read a biography, like you read the most important things that happened to that person, and you don't get this much time this much explanation of time and space. You just know that something's happened, and I saw that the movie was also like kind of structured that way.
So you search on Google Queen, and that thing you read, that Wikipedia,
Exactly.
put you is the movie.
It's almost like what you would read on a Wikipedia page. If you see.
There were some disappointed. It was kind of disappointing that way. And I'm gonna tell you now. I gotta say it.
You gotta get something.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. He's with this
Dilemma
of is it a Queen movie or is it a Freddie Mercury movie?
And I gotta say, it's none. And it's disappointing because I didn't want to see a Freddie Mercury movie. I wanted to see a Queen movie. But if they dig into the Freddie Mercury thing, the whole AIDS or the parties and the sexuality of it, a little bit more or a little bit,
like
dark-ish, because the movie is very lighthearted, and it shouldn't be if you know a little bit that the Queen history isn't a rainbow.
Exactly, but they usually do that like to make it like entertaining or stuff.
Yeah.
Like not to be so harsh, and since it's in memory of movie, yeah.
And the members of the band are in the production, so that influence a little bit.
Yeah.
And they want to, ice the cake, even though it's a bad cake. So.
If it is a chocolate cake, is it burnt? Is it not? You never know. Until you bite on it.
So I was a little I keep saying that. Now in the side of is it a Queen movie? I wanted it to be, and it is. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And it is. You got the live aid, you got the construction of.
You got some of the songs how they were created.
Yeah.
Kind of. Some of the songs were created.
There were scenes that I wanted to explore more that I saw on the trailer. Then I went, I wanted to know more about that scene, about the.
When you saw the movie, that's just it.
Yeah.
That's all that you see.
We're talking about the Bohemian Rhapsody sequence, which is they. Higher. And that whole thing, and
That was pretty funny.
I wanted to know more, and it's so frustrating. There is a scene in the trailer. It is on the trailer that this guy in the studio that says to somebody, oh, there is some band trying to. And they bring a lot of extravagant things that are weird in a studio, and the beer on the drums, and I wanted to more the reason of it, and I thought I would get some of the songs, and they rushed too much, and
I think that the song that was more explored was the Bohemian Rhapsody, and the first album, because they went through the idea that they wanted to be innovative with all of those things, that they wanted to make sound with coins, with beers on the drums and all that. Like they wanted to actually be like something different that nobody has ever heard before. And it was actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
But most of the songs they were played, and they were kind of a little bit how they made it, but not much. Break free.
Yeah.
And they only showed when they were making the music video, when they're rapping the music video, and then they were talking about how people were complaining about the the thing that promoted because they were dressed as women. And Freddie was arguing that all the blame was gonna be
MTV shut down.
MTV shut down the video, and that everybody was blaming Freddie because he was the gay guy, and he was probably the idea. They dressed like women and all that, and well, it wasn't the case. At least on
the sequence all that sequence of the backstory of the songs, it was very intriguing, but they didn't give me more. They didn't give me something. I love it, but I want more. Like when you are eating an apple and you wanna finish it, but then you see is mala. I don't know what is the word.
It's not good.
It's not good, and you throw it away because it has a warmish or something.
You just get that taste of I want more.
And the same and the same with Freddie Mercury. The only few scenes that you explore the party stuff is very like in the background with music playing, and then when they let you assume what happened, and then at the final act and last half of the movie, he's like, oh, I have 8, and if you don't know the history, you're like, what? How? But you already.
But I mean, kind of, because like before he knew he got AIDS, like you get like this, like Paul was getting to the house with a lot of men. That's where you get the idea from where he got AIDS.
Now that I think about it, it's kind of smart because it doesn't treat you like an idiot.
Yeah.
It makes you think.
Makes you like, you know what he was doing with that.
So
you know this isn't the first time.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I remember now that scene when he's on the phone with his when he was with the girl. With his fiance, and then he sees a man, and he's like, boy, I wanna go to that bathroom. And it was the same thing that they were talking about his heartbreaking for her. Now we talk about that.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
So.
But don't get me wrong, it's a great movie. I mean, you should see it. Like when this video is up, if you haven't seen the movie, you're missing. Yeah. And if you are really hardcore, and not hardcore, you know some songs of Queen, you're gonna love it, and you're gonna feel the rush of the songs and the vibrations,
especially the Live Aid.
The Live Aid.
It was portrayed really like.
And then when they fade out that, and Freddie looking at everybody like, you know.
And also that part that he was explaining that they were on a concert and they all started like he said that he didn't know if the public was hearing what he was singing and all that, but then like when he shut up, he heard everybody singing. That was like pretty. The way he explained it, like I even felt it.
Yeah, man. It's some good acting, man.
Again, Rami man, like it's really
so damn
like
good.
He captured like that essence. Pretty. But yeah, and now that we're done with all that, final thoughts on the movie. Start with you.
It was a great film for me, but it could be more. They limited themselves in a way that I didn't want to. I wanted to know more, but they gave me what I wanted to see, and that's it. They didn't give me more. They give me, like I said, the good things, the songs, the relationships, but.
Sorry if you feel like there was an abrupt cut between his final point and review and mine because the battery shut down, so I had to charge it. But now we're back.
Back at it.
If I'm not mistaken, where we left off. Yeah, final thoughts. Yeah. Now it's my turn. Final thoughts. Well, I think the movie was great. If you're a fan of Queen, if you have heard like the songs or anything, you're just totally gonna love the movie. Like that, you're not gonna be bothered by some of the faults that it had. But so I would say that you should totally see it. You shouldn't miss out on that. And if you see it on the theater, it's a lot better. Especially on the Live Aid concert, you actually feel like if you're there. So for the end of it, let's rate the movie.
Yeah.
I give the movie 8.5 Freddy mustaches out of 10.
Yeah, that's a cool.
What about you?
That's a cool.
Do you give it the same or?
No, I will give it. A 7.5.
Yeah.
Mustaches. Freddy mustaches. Yeah.
It wasn't like. It wasn't.
I said it was great.
Yeah.
But the reason I give it a 7.5 is I said great, but I mean good. He meant great, but I really meant good. I just wanna. I wanna be honest with you.
When I left the theater, I actually felt like very like the movie. Like I felt the hype for the movie. Like it was pretty great for me. It was like
I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't talk about the movie. At least the plot or anything. We just talk about the teeth of Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to let it sink and don't, you know, oh my God, it was so great.
Yeah.
Because that's the way you will feel.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
When I saw it, I first was thinking about it like always. First as a fan, and then I tried to see it as a movie.
Yeah.
And as a fan, it was great.
It was great.
It was awesome. It was one of the best movies that I would ever see. But as as a movie, I know that there are some faults. That's why I give it an 8.5 instead of a 10. Like there could have been some changes that could have made it a lot better. But
Definitely.
yeah. So well, that's it. This has been Film Talk. I don't know how often we will actually do this, but stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, well, subscribe to this channel and my main channel. I will link them down below. And as always, if you have any suggestions, leave on the comments.
Oh, yeah, please. I will appreciate that.
Yeah. So this has been it. Thank you for watching.